T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
Solid rocket boosters kicking in.
25th Space Shuttle mission.
Today is a day for mourning and remembering. Nancy and I are pained to the core by the tragedy of the shuttle Challenger. We know we share this pain with all of the people of our country. This is truly a national loss. Ronald Reagan, 1986. The Challenger Mission Sts-51-L was the 10th and final mission of the Challenger. It took place on January 28, 1986, 10:38 a.m. Central Daylight Time, at the Kennedy Space Center. The Challenger was holding two satellites as equipment that would both be used to observe how close Halley's Comet was to Earth, since it would pass by Earth that same year on October 20th. The two satellites that the Challenger had were the sported satellite that would be used to observe Halley's Comet and was to be brought up for testing, and the data relay satellite, TDRS, that was ready to be deployed into space. The data relay satellite would relay data back about Halley's Comet. The purpose of mission STS-51-L was to go up into orbit to deploy satellite TDRS and its upper stage, IUS booster, in orbit on the first day. Then they would start the Comet Halley active monitoring program on day 2. On the third day, the crew was going to begin pre-development preparations for satellite spotting. This satellite was set to watch Halley's Comet. Then Spotted would be deployed using an RMS robot arm. The robot arm would separate Spotted from the Challenger by 90 miles. During day 4, the Challenger would fly towards Spotted. On day 5, the robot arm would be brought out again and would snatch back Spotted to the payload bay of the Challenger. The Challenger would be scheduled to make preparations for going back to the Kennedy Space Center on the 6th day. On the last day, the 7th day, the last preparations for entering into the atmosphere would be made, and the Challenger would return to the Kennedy Space Center that same day. The mission ended in failure. The life of all 7 crew members were lost that day, and NASA had lost billions of dollars. What could have gone wrong? The failure of the piece that doomed the Challenger from liftoff. It was called an O-ring, a gasket in the form of a ring made up of metal pipes and tubes. The O-ring did not properly secure the right solid booster rocket, causing for the failure of the Challenger. This allowed pressurized, searing hot gases to escape from the inside of the booster itself. The vaporization of the right rocket booster had a negative impact on the strut connecting to the orange external tank of the rocket, causing the whole rocket to break down. Liquid oxygen and hydrogen were released from the tank. The burning of the hydrogen caused the rocket to catch fire and vaporize. Though conspiracists have their own reason for why the rocket blew up, according to Space.com, after studying the disaster, a review board determined that the exponentially cold weather contributed to the failure of the O-ring seal. NASA concluded that the shuttle is not safe to fly at such cold temperatures. Here are the facts. Though many people think that the Challenger blew up right away, it in fact tore apart 73 seconds after taking off, sending the 7 crew members on the space shuttle crashing into the ocean. One of the people on board was Kristen McAuliffe, who was going to be the first teacher in space. Many people think that this mission, STS-51-L, was the only mission of the Challenger, but in actuality, the Challenger had 9 other missions before this. Mission STS-51-L was delayed 4 times prior to the disaster, yet after all the delays, the rocket still malfunctioned and blew up. The crew didn't die instantly when you would have saw the flames on tape. The crew didn't actually die until over a minute later, since only the Challenger's other rocket components were being torn away from the cabin. The crew was definitely alive for at least a minute after the initial breakdown of the rocket, but it's unknown if they were unconscious due to the lack of oxygen due to being separated from the oxygen tank of the rocket. I found it interesting that right before the Challenger was engulfed in flames, the pilot, Mike J. Smith, let out the words, "Uh-oh." Even though I used the term blew up for what happened to the Challenger didn't actually blow up, but instead burned up because of the fuel tank that was torn open. The Challenger was delayed 4 times prior to this disaster. The loss of the Challenger cost NASA billions of dollars, but we shall never forget the 7 brave lives lost on January 28, 1986. Thank you for listening to my video.
Let's go. 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Challenger going to the That's planned.
Good roll program.
Farther away from pad 39 to the first use of pad 39 since the old Apollo days, the Skylab mission. It's chilly in Florida. Icicles formed on the pad overnight. NASA engineers they might have broken off during the launch and affected the fragile protection tiles to protect the shuttle on its way back in during re-entry.
We'll throttle down to 65% shortly.
Don't know what the effect might be just yet. The astronauts will take a look later on during the mission.
Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 the fuel belts, 3 good APUs.
APUs, auxiliary
Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles. Downrange distance 3 nautical miles.
It's always amazing to hear how quickly the shuttle moves. It's already more than 4 miles downwind.
Engines throttling up. 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go and throttle up.
Roger, go to throttle up.
The shuttle mission will launch, my God,
1 minute 15
It's been an
seconds.
explosion.
Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.